여보세요. This isn't what I normally do on my channel, but I kind of have been thinking about it for a while, and I just thought that it was something that I wanted to do. And you'll understand why, hopefully, by the end of this video here. Now, since I don't normally do this type of content, please bear with me as I try to work out how to complete this sort of piece here, this sort of investigative piece, a little bit of opinion piece. But I'm gonna give it a shot. So now on Sunday, October 30th, I saw a post about an incident that happened in Seoul, South Korea, specifically the Itaewon district. The reports and posts indicated that a massive crowd of people taking part in Halloween celebrations became trapped in a crushing flow of foot traffic. It was explained that the area of the Itaewon district is constructed of narrow streets that are often quite busy with people. News of this report, of course, it greatly saddened me. Ever since I discovered K-pop music, I have come to appreciate much of the Korean culture and history. I'm the type of person that likes to seek out information about the things that bring me enjoyment and sort of enrich my own experience. As a music student, I learned how to learn about the cultural aspects of music as an art. And so it follows that I have read about the history of Korea to better understand what informs the creation of contemporary Korean popular music. Since I began to feature K-pop music in this content here, I've gained many viewers from Korea and other parts of the eastern regions. The comments and support that I have received from all of you have been very significant to me, and they have motivated me to a tremendous extent. The enjoyment that I get from K-pop music and from sharing my experience with all of you has substantiated at least an artistic connection to Korea, and my appreciation for the culture has been quite endearing with reciprocity. It's because of this disposition that I decided to research this event and to try to understand more about the area of South Korea that was affected by this tragedy. Of course, I wish to offer my condolences to everyone who was affected and everyone who lost a loved one. Now, I researched information about the city of Seoul. Seoul, officially known as the Seoul Special City, is the capital, the largest metropolis of South Korea. According to the 2020 census, Seoul has a population of 9.9 million people, and it forms the heart of the Seoul capital area, with the surrounding Incheon metropolis and Gyeonggi province. It's considered to be a global city, rated as an alpha city by Globalization and World Cities Research Network. Seoul was the world's fourth largest metropolitan economy in 2014, right after Tokyo, New York City, and Los Angeles. So Now, Seoul was the capital of various Korean states, including the Baekje, Joseon, in the Korean Empire, Goryeo, presently South Korea. It's strategically located along the Han River. The settlement of that area, present-day Seoul, began about 4000 BC, right? So Seoul's history stretches back over 2,000 years when it was founded in 18 BC by the people of Baekje, which was one of the three kingdoms of Korea. The city was later designated the capital of Korea under the Joseon dynasty, and it's just a map that's showing kind of the way that the regions used to be split up. This was a long time ago. Now, Seoul is surrounded by mountainous and hilly landscape, with Bukhan Mountain located on the northern edge of the city. Now, I appreciate a lot of history, historical monuments and such, and it's really cool because Seoul, the capital area, actually contains 5 UNESCO World Heritage sites, right? You have Changdeok Palace, right, which is this building right here. Much of that very old world architecture, right? It's just stuff that I think it's really cool, right? This all of this great architecture and design that you just will only see in certain places, like Hwasong Fortress, right? Now this is totally cool stuff, man. Like, the history of all of this, you got to look at some of these structures and think that, man, this was built such a long time ago. You know what I mean? That's what's so impressive about it. You've also got Jongmyo Shrine, right? And all of these things, they have so much just history, the information, the influence, and everything that's behind it. It's just so crazy to think, you've got Namhan Sanseong, right, which is this structure right here. All of this stuff just looks it's really beautiful stuff, man. To me, in the West, and just this stuff is fascinating, and it's really something to have these cultural sort of artifacts like present, inside of your capital city. You also have the royal tombs of the Joseon dynasty. Man, just it's some pretty incredible stuff. And as I've sort of alluded to before, you have a sort of anachronistic quality, right? Where you see a lot of this ancient architecture, these things from thousands of years ago. And you also have a lot of like modern contemporary sort of structures, and Seoul's been a major site of modern architectural construction, with some major modern landmarks, things like the 63 building right here with these very interesting designs, these massive structures. You've also got the Dongdaemun Design Plaza here. You just, you're only gonna see this stuff in certain parts, right? Because they just don't make things like this elsewhere. You've also got Lot World. Is it Lot World or is it Lot T World? I'm not sure. I believe my interpretation, because I haven't read specifically about this, but is this a sort of amusement park, sort of something like Disney World, something along those lines? That's what it looks like, anyways, from the pictures that I've seen. You also have the COEX. I believe this is like a giant mall structure, right? So it's a commercial center, like shopping malls that we have here. Very cool design, man. Like, you'll find really unique stuff, inspired sort of designs. Different takes, different approaches to things. You also have the IFC Seoul, right? And look at these crazy sort of angular buildings. It's quite impressive architecture, and it's juxtaposed against those 2,000-year-old structures that are there, some probably even older. I mean, it's one of those things that I think is really fascinating, and I think it comes across in a lot of the production things that I've seen before. You have this anachronistic perspective, almost, like something that's very ancient and has been preserved, and then something that's very modern and fresh and informed by a lot of information and developments that have come ever since then. But I think it's just a really cool aspect about it, right? Seoul was named the 2010 World Design Capital, and it is the birthplace of K-pop and the Korean wave. That's where it comes from, right? Now, Itaewon is a multicultural commercial area that's located in Seoul, South Korea. It's one of the most popular neighborhoods in Seoul. It's known for its nightlife and its trendy restaurants, right? The name Itaewon was originally derived from the name of an inn located there during the Joseon dynasty. And today it's called Itaewon, alluding to the abundance of pear trees, and it's the international district. So you will find a lot of foods and maybe merchandise, some different style establishments there that are not typically widespread and common in the rest of the areas, right, on the rest of South Korea. And when I was doing research about the area and about the event, I did learn that there are some connections to the K-pop industry and even K-pop music, like some of the stuff that we enjoy here on this channel, right? Specifically JYPE content from some of those groups like Twice and ITZY and Stray Kids. And it has to do with JYP himself, right? So JYP with Yoo Se-yoon, they had a duo called UV, and in 2011 they actually released a song that was called Itaewon Freedom, right? And the title alludes to, and the song celebrated a common perception of Itaewon's sort of open atmosphere, because contrasted with the sort of conventional Korean culture, which was more conservative, the popularity of their song and the music video inspired a parody cover song and video from a girl group called Crayon Pop in 2013. Both of the music videos were partially filmed on location in Itaewon. Now, JYP decided to cancel or postpone many events out of respect for what happened. This also included the Twice fan meeting, and it was a small gesture, but I also refrained from posting any content during the period of mourning, just in solidarity to show some respect. Now, knowing the connection now, between JYP and the Itaewon district, it's understandable why such considerations were made. I'm certain that he was deeply affected by this tragedy, and I can only hope that he's dealt with the difficulty and found some solace. I'm sure he reached out to people and did whatever he could and offered whatever sort of help he could. I would imagine. And there were other areas of the K-pop industry that were also affected. There was an actor and a former Produce 101 Season 2 contestant, Lee Ji-han, who was discovered to be one of the people who passed away in the tragedy. So he was a contestant on the Mnet Produce 101 Season 2 back in 2017. Made his debut as an actor in a web drama called Today Was Another Nam Hyun Day. And that was in 2019. And according to what I've read, he was 24 years old at the time of his passing. So, it's very unfortunate to see somebody who was young and up and coming and starting to make his way. I'm not familiar with the show. Wasn't familiar with his work specifically, but it's just an example, right, of how these things can affect anyone, Now, the Seoul Metropolitan Government held a public vigil at Seoul's Plaza to pay condolences to bereaved families and friends of many young victims who lost their lives in the tragedy. That vigil was held for 6 days during the declared period of mourning, which was from the 31st to November 5th. Now, all I can really say is that, I'd offer my condolences again. As we have observed, the culture and entertainment that we so often enjoy was impacted by the event. And it probably goes much deeper than we can intuit, or at least that I can intuit from my perspective here. In keeping with just the reason that I decided to make this video, I just want this to be a reminder to not take things for granted, always look out for each other and be aware of your surroundings. because we can learn from these types of misfortunes. We can be more aware, and if we don't learn from it, then we kind of have failed to do right by anybody who was lost, and the people who are affected by it now. So as I showed the things I looked up, Korea is a really interesting place, man. That's got a super rich history and culture, and is a modern day presence also in many respects. It's a place that I hope I get a chance to visit someday. I think it would be really fun to travel there, maybe work there, some in the industry. There's just seems to be so very many things going on, and so I just I appreciate everyone's time. If you stop at my channel and watch my content, I just wanted to do something to show it, to show that I have this genuine interest in the country and the culture. It's done a lot for me, and the K-pop music that I enjoy continues to just it's just something that has become significant to me. Groups like Twice, I listen to that music so that I feel better, and it always works. Like, it never fails. You know what I mean? It never fails to make me feel better inside. So I just wanted to express my appreciation for that. I hope everybody can, move forward. I definitely have seen in some of the news reports and some of the things on social media that there's been much difficulty, and that's to be expected. A lot of people want some accountability for things, and I just hope everybody can find some type of closure. And I hope that many of the Korean people today, especially the younger Korean people, will really appreciate your culture and your history, for everything that it is, which is fascinating and beautiful and brilliant and just unlike anything else, and you young people and all the people there, you represent that still. Like, that's you today. So just don't forget it. Just don't lose touch with it, and remember to just take care of yourselves and take care of each other, and you'll be all right, and everybody will be all right, but that's all. I want to go on too long about it. Hopefully this, because it's been on my mind, so hopefully this just sort of highlights some closure, and I hope everybody can move forward and be happy too. So if you've if you watch this video and you stuck through, just I appreciate it. And I get back to some of my regular fun content, that I normally put up, and get back to enjoying some of the great K-pop music. So until then, take care.